Good evening, and thank you for tuning in to the Designated Pundits. It is Tuesday, July 15th, and we're going to talk about tomorrow, Wednesday, July 15th's matches. We have some great picks for you. Stay right there. Do you guys remember when people used to say "stay right there"? Like when you're watching television, most people are probably watching this like on their phone. Stay right where? I mean, it's attached surgically.
Don't go anywhere. Yeah,
the good old days. Anyway, Major League Soccer.
They said that and then went to commercial though, right? And that was the time you went to the bathroom.
And you didn't stay right there, yeah.
No, that was really key to get up and leave. You
might see some ads on our stuff now because we are monetized on YouTube, Spotify, anywhere you're listening to this podcast. I'm making a couple cents a month on it, so love that. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. It is match day 25. We did not miss one. There just was like a little skip with a little midday weirdness, so let's get into it. Last weekend, 2 picks under 500, not our best week. We kind of predicted a down week, which is, I guess, helpful when you know that your picks are spot on or not. Overall, we were down 0.56 units, most of that on me being down 1.7. But on the season, we are 180 and 177 on 357 wagers, plus 27.15 units. Well in the green, gentlemen. You guys ready to make some picks for match day 25?
Yeah, let's do
it.
All right.
Not all at once, guys. Not all at once, guys. When we post the audio, that silence is going to be clipped, so it's not going to be nearly as awkward. So people watching at home, just know that no one answered. No one answered me. Talk about not answering the call. Atlanta United, they're at home this weekend. They will be hosting the Chicago Fire. That was coming in hot, Deon, sorry. Atlanta, 4 wins, 7 draws, and 10 losses. The Chicago Fire, 8 wins, 4 draws, and 9 losses. This one's going to happen at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Looking at the home odds, Atlanta United, they're favorites, plus 115. The draw is at plus 280, and Chicago Fire is at plus 190. Alex, you have the only official play, but let's go to the resident Atlanta United fan, Deon, to hear say something good about your team. You have to. Say one thing good about your team.
I like their jerseys this year.
You're getting a sell on what's his face got sold today. Yeah. Aren't you getting a sell on what's his face going to Atletico?
Yeah.
There you go.
Almada. We should be
getting money. You get a sell on. There you go.
We never get the money.
Where that money will be spent,
right?
Yeah, we didn't even get the money. Yeah, will it be well spent? That's the question, Bob. That's the great question. Yeah,
gonna need to make some changes there in Chicago. In Atlanta, Chicago. They've been playing pretty good. They have losses at home and wins away. That's looking good for this matchup, Alex. What do you see?
I don't know what is about this last couple of weeks. I'm looking at a team to win plus both teams to score at a yes. Somehow these odds just attract me. When I saw this today, the way Atlanta's playing, the way Chicago plays on the road, it can score. I'm going to roll the dice here, because the odds are plus 310. This is like playing a parlay in one game. I'm going to take Chicago to win, right? Chicago to win and both teams to score at plus 310.
That is quite literally a one-game parlay.
The way Atlanta's playing doesn't scare me. Chicago scoring goals on the road. I think Chicago will be battling a playoff spot by the end of the year. I think they probably are going to be a top 10 playoff team or top 9, whatever it is. Atlanta, I don't see any signs of life right now. Deon can talk more about it than me, but there's nothing that I see in Atlanta that makes me want to put any kind of money towards them, even when they're home. Plus 310 here, man. Why not? I'm just, I'm going to roll the dice here, and if it hits, I'm going to be really, really happy.
It looks like we're expecting Brad Guzan to make his appearance back in this one after missing last weekend. But Fortune, Gregerson, Williams, all listed as out for Atlanta. And Chicago Fire, they're just healthy. They're missing a couple guys, Carlos Turan. They're clicking on all cylinders right now. I love this play. It's a huge plus money. You only need to win this one out of every 3 times, and you still make money.
I think this
Why
sits
not?
better than one out. I think this sits better than 1 out of 3.
1 out of 4 actually, because 1 out of 4 would be you'd win plus 310 and then you'd lose 3. So you can hit this 1 out of 4 times. Beautiful.
There you go. I like this because, Alex, you're basically asking these teams to be who they are. Atlanta at home is barely better than 500. Chicago is way more dynamic on the road than they are at home. And Chicago's offense, if they can score 2 goals, that's probably enough. I think the only thing I kind of disagree with you on is signs of life from Atlanta. Atlanta has 2 straight draws now in their last 2 games. That's not especially impressive, although for Atlanta it's something. It's that, Deon, correct me if I'm wrong here, Atlanta just gave the captain's armband or something to Miggy.
Yeah,
and
last game.
Yeah, and he played better, like a little more invested. That's kind of the whatever I'm gathering.
Yeah.
Is that he looks a little more invested on the field. That, I think, is one of the keys for Atlanta. Like, you see the belief breaking down in the players and in the leadership, like Miggy, and the rest of the team just follows that, right? You don't believe, you just show up, you're just getting your paycheck, you get rolled by teams 2-0, 4-0, whatever. But if those guys start to believe and they actually play and they work and stuff like that, you're in with a chance of at least getting draws like Atlanta did in the last 2 games.
But the difference in the last 2 games were the only stretch where Atlanta allowed only 1 goal in 180 minutes. The only time this season. They've had 2 shutouts. One of them was 2 weeks ago, and then they gave up 1 goal last week. That's why they're looking better, because their defense is better. But now with that Gregerson Williams, less faith, more Chicago. Let's go. We got to move on. One official play, and that is Alex. Chicago, both teams score plus 310. Beautiful, beautiful big money bomb to start the show here today. Charlotte, they host DC United later on this week. Charlotte, 9 wins, 2 draws, and 11 losses. DC, they also have 11 losses, but only 4 wins and 7 draws during the 2025 season. Charlotte, minus 165 home favorites, while DC United is plus 380 on the road. Over 2.5 goals, minus 166, and under 2.5 goals, plus 136. Alex, you again are the only play on this match. Scott, we've talked a lot about Charlotte. We've talked a lot about DC in the last few weeks. Besides just saying Charlotte bad, DC good, are there any other game scripts, anything else you're watching in this one?
I am watching DC. I'm a little bit watching a specific player, Pirani, because he has been sort of the doer for DC. Benteke has not really been a doer for DC this year, but he's kind of healthy again. So, right, that's something to watch. Aaron Herrera is back from international duty and getting a little more healthy and game time again. So that's something to watch, I guess. But I don't know. I just struggle. I struggle to see DC having enough to get over Charlotte. Charlotte is a better functioning team. But I think DC just have a little bit of chaotic energy.
Yeah. So glad you talked about Herrera. He's suspended for this match. Will not be playing. Yellow card accumulation. Schnegg will be missing this game, and Fletcher will be out here. For Charlotte, it's Byrne and Doumbia who are going to miss the game. I like Charlotte. DC United is going to continue to struggle, but I think with Benteke, the more he plays, the more he's going to start to score. You know, I think that every week, every match that he's further away from that injury, you're going to see not only his minutes go up, but his, availability to kick the ball in the back of the net. Deon?
Yeah, I mean, you guys pretty much hit it on the head there. I mean, it's Charlotte. DC has not won there at Bank of America Stadium at all, and I don't see anything that would even give them a chance to win this. I think that the chaos, like you were saying, Scott, maybe could get them a draw somehow, but Charlotte's good at home. They've only lost 2. They've only drawn 1, and DC's just not doing well. So I wouldn't pick anything for DC in this.
Charlotte's been in terrible form, but it's because they've been on the road. They've played like 8 of their last 11 games on the road. Alex, you are taking a pro Charlotte play.
Yeah, a couple things come to mind. DC United fired their coach. I don't like the way DC United. The roster. They're not going to be a playoff team. Charlotte just sold Ajimon to Derby County for $8 million. Could be up to 10, 12 with bonuses and stuff. So that back and forth that's been, the last few weeks, I think that's been a distraction in the locker room. Now that's gone. Zaha, it's time to step up right now. Charlotte at home, I usually look at Charlotte when they're home. The way DC's playing, especially with the coaching change, Benteke on the turf, I don't see him scoring here. I think Charlotte's going to win, and I think the over-under. I'm taking Charlotte plus the over-under over 1.5. I think Charlotte's going to win this game. I think Charlotte's going to win this game easily.
Also worth noting, DC United traveling a lot. They were just in LA last week for this one. One official play in the Charlotte versus DC United match, Charlotte, and over 1.5 goals, -115. Moving on now, FC Cincinnati. They just scored 2 goals in like 6 minutes last week and then gave up 4 in the derby there against the Columbus Crew. They are 13 wins, 3 draws, and 6 losses, hosting Inter Miami with 11 wins, 5 draws, and 3 losses. This is a Wednesday night fixture. FC Cincinnati plus 125 at home. Inter Miami plus 175 on the road. Over 2.5 goals, the most likely -280. That is a huge number. Under 2.5 goals, plus 215. We have 2 official plays, myself and Scott. Scott, go for it.
I didn't really want to pick a winner in this. Cincy is good at home, actually. They, if you look at the chart, they're kind of down on the chart, but that's because they just haven't played that many home games, I guess. But they're pretty good at home. But I didn't want to pick a winner. I needed to divorce myself from that. Don't pick against Messi. What I'm actually going to do is pick Cincy's main guy to do what he does, which is score a goal, and that's Evander. I just have him as an anytime goal scorer. He's scored 13 goals this season. He's got 6 in his last 4 games. Extend that. This is a big game. He shows up in big games. He's a big game player. It's plus 135.
Love it. I went a little bit of a different way. Look, Inter Miami, they're a fantastic team. They're cream of the league. They're on a 5-game winning streak. It's because they're not playing 2 games every week anymore. When they play 2 games a week, they draw and they lose. However, they are hot and they're scoring again. They're putting balls in the back of the net. I absolutely love that. FC Cincinnati does have a good home record, but they haven't played really anyone at home. If you look at their 2 losses, they lost to the Columbus Crew and DC United. Not great. They drew 3-3 against Dallas and 2-2 against Atlanta. In the teams they've beaten, Chicago Fire, Austin, Sporting KC, New England Revolution, Toronto, New York Red Bulls. That says a lot. They have beaten nobodies at home. Inter Miami is not a nobody. Inter Miami, on the other hand, again, they are scoring goals left and right. They just beat Nashville 2-1 last week. They, took a home win against Revolution. They kicked the heck out of these bad teams. They even beat the Columbus Crew, the same Columbus Crew that beat FC Cincinnati at home last week by a 5-1 scoreline. That to me reflects what we're going to see. And we're going to see Miami win in this one. We have 2 official plays. Miami draw no bet at plus 114. And Scott with an Evander goal at plus 135. I like that. Stepping up. Everyone's there to see Messi. Maybe it's going to be the Evander show.
Maybe, but I mean, since he just got rolled by Columbus, he scored in that game.
Yeah.
Right? He is the kind of guy that will get them a goal even in a losing cause. And that's the thing I like about this.
I like it. When you need a goal, Evander will get it. When you need 2 goals, Evander will get you 2 goals. When you need 3 goals, Evander will get you 2 goals. Love that bet. 2 official plays on this one. We're going to move on now to the New York Red Bulls hosting the New England Revolution. This one is Wednesday at Sports Illustrated Stadium. You will see the odds displayed here. -120 for Red Bull at home, plus 300 for the New England Revolution on the road. Over under 2.5 goals, -140 for over 2.5 goals, plus 116 for under 2.5 goals. Me and Deon both have official plays in this one. Deon, talk us through it a little bit.
Yeah, so in this one, I mean, the Revs looked pretty good at first, and I feel like not at first. They went through this spell where they weren't
Yeah.
good, they were good, and then I feel like they're kind of trending downwards again. And I just don't see them doing well in this one. Uh, yes, they drew on the road against Austin over the weekend. Now they're coming back and playing the Red Bulls. The Red Bulls are really good at home. Only one loss so far this season. In the last 5 matches they've had at home, they are averaging 3.2 goals. Yes, that outlier against Galaxy is still there at 7-0, but they scored 4 on Charlotte, 2 on Atlanta, and then they drew with Minnesota, which I think Minnesota is a good side, 2-2 in their last match. So in this one, I went with the Red Bulls to win and to have over 1.5 goals. I think at plus 111. They're scoring right now. They're playing well at home, and I think that this could be an easy one for him, unless Heel has a great game. I mean, and he would have to have a great game to give Revs a chance here.
So much so you'd have to play defense for them too. Red Bulls, 7 wins, 2 draws, and a loss at home. And when you look over to see what the New England Revolution are doing, you're going to see that they only have 1 win on the road. I mean, it's the likeliest outcome. Oh, sorry, 2 wins. 4, 5, and 3 on the road. New England Revolution. Yeah, that's a little confusing here. Sorry. Red Bull's going to win this one. I'm pretty confident about that. they're going to outscore and they're going to win. I also have Red Bull and over 1.5 at plus 114. It just makes so much sense here. Again, Red Bull so good at home. Only 1 loss. I don't think they're dropping points to the New England Revolution, and it's because of a tactical change that they've made. Revolution was terrible. They moved to a 5-man back line. They started playing really well. There you go. Then all of a sudden, Ganago hits his his clause to get his contract upped, and they need to play him. They move to a 4-man back line. They make all these changes away from what was working, and that's really when this skid started. Ganago's not even going to be available in this match, but I think that Revolution are still going to be playing on like that 4-man back line, which is not brought them success, and is not going to bring them success against this Red Bull team either. 2 official plays. Red Bull over 1.5 at plus 112, and Red Bull over 1.5 at plus 112. Me and Deon. Moving on now to Orlando City versus NYCFC. Alex, you have the only official play here. 2 really good teams that play pretty good at home. NYCFC particularly struggling on the road this year. When you look at the odds here,
You said it right there.
minus 165 for Orlando at home, plus 400 for NYCFC on the road. These two are 2 9-win teams. When you see 2 9-win teams play each other, neither one should be at plus 400. That kind of tells you the whole story there, Alex, right?
Yeah, I don't like NYCFC at all on the road, and when Orlando's home, I kind of like to look at them. I don't think NYCFC is going to go down to Orlando and get a result here, so I'm taking Orlando City to get the win here. To me, Orlando City is battling for a playoff, so I know NYCFC just signed a DP from the 2nd division in Spain. They still need some help. Again, Orlando City at home. The reason I'm taking this, the way NYCFC playing on the road, and telling NYCFC they dropped points at Montreal a couple weeks ago. Telling NYCFC starts showing me something on the road, I'm going to start looking to go against them until they prove me wrong. And this is one of these cases. That's why I'm taking Orlando City right here.
I like this. I think if I was going to be playing, I would just take an over. Because when I look at Orlando, I see Jansen is questionable again for this matchup. Their defense hasn't really been very good. And NYCFC, where's their strength? The wings. They got Wolf and Ojeda against Brekalo and Thorhausen. Yes, give me all of that. Give me all of the wing for NYCFC. In a shootout, who wins? Usually the home team, and the odds are certainly reflective of that. Scott, do you have a lean in this match?
I lean Orlando, but my confidence in Orlando's ability to see out a game is not very high right now. And Orlando's too talented actually to not score more goals than they're scoring. So I do have some reservations there, despite my lean to Orlando. I think I tend to go with what you're on Bob, and I would almost look at an over if you could find something reasonable with a good enough odds.
You'll have to bring it up to 3.5 to get over plus 100. One official play on Orlando City versus NYCFC. That's Alex. Orlando and over 1.5 goals at -115. The Philadelphia Union hosts CF Montreal this week. Philadelphia Union 13 wins, CF Montreal just 3. This is also a Wednesday match at Subaru Park here. Looking at the odds, Philadelphia -270 at home and CF Montreal +600 away. This is getting to that territory. Like, if I see any team at +700 this season, I'm betting them just on principle. Just this, MLS is weird. Weird things happen. The over 2.5 goals -174. The under 2.5 goals is at +142. The sportsbook is very, very confident in what is happening in this matchup. So I do not have a play, but Scott, you found a way to get a plus money play that makes sense to you.
Yeah, it does. The sportsbook is confident about Philadelphia. I'm confident about Philadelphia, despite how weird MLS is. I really don't have any confidence in Montreal to do this. I think Philadelphia's offense is good enough and their defense. And it's really the defense that I'm going to bet on here. I want both teams to score no on this. That's +105. Looking at Philadelphia's recent history, both teams to score no has hit 4 out of 5 times. Defense is definitely good enough to get a shutout here. So I'll take that. And if it goes the other way, if Montreal wins this 1-0, I still get that.
I do like the both teams to score no rather than picking a team, because once in a while you do get surprised with something like that. But the fact that Philadelphia is being bet on both teams to score no, this is like unheard of from last year. Last year it was like Philadelphia over 4.5 goals, Philly double chancers, just slotted in there. You know how quickly things change in this league. Deon, any thoughts on this? On your show, I assume you picked Philadelphia, right?
I did. I picked Philadelphia to win this one 2-0. There's nothing that Montreal, there's nothing that Montreal can do. Yes, they are averaging 1.4 on the road in their last 5, and then even in their last 5, 1.4. But like Scott said, Union's defense, I could see holding that shutout. They're good enough. They're a good side, and they're at Subaru Park. I think Subaru Park is a tough place to play at for any away side. So, yeah, I mean, I like that bet. I couldn't go fully in on something like that.
Understandable from me. One official play. Both teams to score no, +105. Moving on to the Houston Dynamo versus Vancouver Whitecaps match. Houston Dynamo, 7 wins, 5 draws, and 10 losses, while Vancouver has 11 wins, 5 draws, and 5 losses, fading a little bit from their, fantastic early season form. The odds show Houston Dynamo at +125 and the Vancouver Whitecaps at +210. Over 2.5, under 2.5, both negative numbers. -110 for the over, -102 for the under, depending what sportsbook you're looking at here. One official play, that's Deon. You are confident.
A little bit confident.
Side.
I do. Yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit confident because I do have the draw no bet, but I am leaning towards Vancouver on this one. I don't see them losing a third straight game. They have gotten beat by the Galaxy and Colorado Rapids in their last 2, 3-0. Haven't scored and allowed 6 goals. That's just not the Vancouver that we've seen. So I think that maybe they'll get it back on track here. A little bit of a skid. I just don't see it happening for a third game in a row for them. But at the same time, a little bit reserved. So if it does end up in a draw, because Houston to me is not that great at home with 4 wins and 6 losses. So I'm taking my chances here, Vancouver to win. If it's draw, no bet. And I think it was like +125. So I like those odds.
Any concern about the Pedro Vite news?
A little bit, but I still think that Vancouver can get it done.
I agree. I think that Vancouver is going to put out a good performance. The thing that kind of bothers me about this more than anything is 91 degrees at kickoff for Houston. Like, this is a Texan game. One official play.
I was about to bring that up, Bob. I was about to. Yeah.
Vancouver draw no
I
bet
didn't
at
mean to
plus
jump the gun there. I
125.
was
But
about to bring the.
Whitecaps have played in the heat though this summer. I feel like it's been a very busy season for them. You had players traveling with their international teams. I'm a little less worried about the weather as I might be in other cases. It might hurt their offense a little bit, but I don't expect the Vancouver Whitecaps offense to come out and score 4 goals in this one. So maybe it's just enough to keep Houston out. Yeah, they just have been just a step behind there. So that's it for me. Scott?
It's a tough one. I still am a little concerned about Vancouver. The recent slide is very against who this team has been all season. Angus is right. They are kind of rapidly diminishing. I don't know what that's about. I don't know what's causing that. Some of it may be due to injuries and legs and all of that finally catching up with this team. Some of the players are back. You'd hope that they'd re-find a little bit of form. If you're going to do it, doing it against Houston is a good team to do it against. It'll be tough conditions. Yes. Houston is frisky. Yes. But Houston is a team that you can get at. And so, yeah, you got as good a chance on this one, I think, as against any other team.
Absolutely. Let's move on. Minnesota United is hosting LAFC. Minnesota United 11 wins, 7 draws, 4 losses. LAFC 9-5-5. Taking a look at the odds, Minnesota plus 175 at home, LAFC plus 150. The road favorite for LAFC. Over under 2.5 goals. They're both negative numbers. Minus 120 for over 2.5. Minus 102 for under 2.5. That means that the total is right where it should be at 2.5. Pick your side there. I have an official play. Alex has an official play. Deon has an official play. Let's go to Alex first. See which way you're thinking.
Yeah, once I saw LAFC, Aaron Long torn Achilles, I was like, they got some holes in the back. The way Minnesota United is playing, especially at home, plus odds. I really like the way Minnesota United looks lately. I really do. So I'm going to ride them out till they prove me otherwise. Aaron Long being out, don't like it. I'm going to take Minnesota United with plus odds at home. That's why I'm taking them straight up to win this game.
Not only will Aaron Long miss this one, Chanot is going to miss this match. He'll be out. So, yeah, LFC's defense is a little bit decimated here, and they're playing against a Minnesota side who knows how to get on the ball. Actually, since we've been talking, it's now a pick'em. It's now plus 50 for each team on the latest sportsbook update. Minnesota plus 150, LAFC plus 150, the draw plus 240 on the latest set of odds. So it's even sliding as we're here talking about the show. I agree. I think Minnesota is going to win. I think they're going to score 2. I like the team total over 1.5 at plus 144. That's going to be my official play here. I'm divorcing myself from the outcome. LAFC, it's time for them to really step on it. They did so with their new striker, their new attacker scoring last week. Can't even pronounce his name yet. Bouanga needs to kind of find his form. But LAFC, if they're going to be bad on defense, they need to get even better on offense. I think those reinforcements are coming. I don't want to have to pick a winner, although I do favor Minnesota. I'm just going to take the team total over 1.5. If they hit it, they probably win anyway. Deon, you are taking Minnesota and the double chance over 2.5 total goals.
Yes. Yeah. I just think Minnesota is a better side, even though LAFC are looking pretty good in their last 2 games. But Minnesota are good at home. Both teams are scoring. Both teams are allowing goals. And I could see this one being easily over 2.5 goals. But I like what Minnesota's doing at home. And LAFC have only won 1 on the road so far. So that's why I picked what I did.
Awesome. 3 official plays. Minnesota United team total over 1.5 at plus 144. Minnesota plus 160 for Alex and Deon. Minnesota double chance and over 2.5 goals at plus 154. Last up, we are covering 9 of the 14 games going on Wednesday. The last one we're going to talk about is the LA Galaxy. Very unique West Coast opportunities this year. I remember last year, there were times where we never talked about the East Coast games and only talked about the West Coast games because they were so predictable. This year, I feel like it's almost flipped where, the Eastern Conference games are really where we're making our money. Western Conference teams, there's really not so much to bet on. But the LA Galaxy, they have 3 wins on the season. Austin, 7, 6, and 8. This one will be played in LA. LA, they are minus 105. Austin plus 280. Over 2.5 goals, minus 128. Under 2.5 goals, plus 104. This is going to be a really interesting match for me, and he kept saying we're going to make money on LA Galaxy this season. This is where we do it. My official play, LA Galaxy to win at minus 105. They're trending the right way. They're playing in LA last week, LA midweek, LAFC the next week. No travel to worry about. They're about as good as they've been. Offense in great form. I just think the writing's on the wall. Brandon Vasquez is going to be out for Austin for the rest of the year. They're not scoring anyway. They traveled from Austin to LA to DC for this weekend. Everything is in LA Galaxy's favor. You're almost even money. I'm not afraid to take a team that was really, 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 really good just 12 months ago and play a home bet on them. I'll take that all day. LA Galaxy minus 105. I actually think you're getting a discount at minus 105. Deon?
Yeah, I agree with everything you just said, Bob. I think that this should be an easy one for the Galaxy. Austin, since the news with Vasquez, they have yet to score since that has happened in their last two matches. Again, the travel, and I think we're going to start seeing the Galaxy trend upwards with all of their players returning and everything. So I had to go with the home side in this one. Also, Austin have not won there in LA in this matchup either. So
love it. Scott, what are you thinking?
Look, I didn't have an official bet. Busy day, busy couple days for me. But if I were to have an official bet, it would be on the Galaxy, but I would juice it up just a little bit. LA Galaxy to win and over 1.5 goals. That's plus 130 right now. The reasoning for that, LA is actually scoring quite a few goals in their last 5 games. They've 3 out of 5. They've scored 2 or more goals. Notable omissions: a shutout in Colorado and a 1-1 tie against the Earthquakes, which I don't think anybody saw coming. So, I like that. You're right. This is a team that used to be really good. They didn't lose that many players. Yes, Ricky Puig was a really, really important one. But a lot of talent remained in this group, especially offensive talent. I don't think they're going to be able to do a 1-0 win. I think it's going to have to be 2 goals.
All right. Few official plays there. LA Galaxy, straight up minus 105. So love it. Love the breakdown. And it's the most likely outcome. It's a home team. Let's not think too deep into this. This is MLS midweek action. We got to be a little chalky sometimes. A few less plays than usual, but let's take a look at them. 4, 4, 4, and 2. So we have 12 through 14 official plays. Math real fast. Love it. If you are following us on YouTube or Spotify with video, you can catch those. If not, make sure you go over to Twitter at BobVSoccer, and I'll be tweeting all this stuff out at some point throughout the week. Gentlemen, Week 25 predictions are in the books. Hope you're feeling great. And we will see you this week on Friday, not Thursday, Friday, with predictions for next weekend. Thank you guys for watching the Designated Pundits.